Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of this amendment. As many people know, I've been working with the governor and Representative Rogers to create a grant program to assist some Michigan schools in moving to a balanced calendar and year-long school. My bill passed the Appropriations Committee and is now on the House. Thank you.
Members, if I could please have your attention, we have one of our colleagues wishing to address the amendment. Thank you. Speaker recognizes Representative Schor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, or Mr. Speaker. My bill passed the Appropriations Committee and is now on the House floor. This amendment incorporates the language from that bill into this supplemental. I think we all know education is absolutely vital for our state's future, yet in some areas, far too much of our students' educational progress is lost every year over the 8 weeks of summer break. When some students return to class in the fall, they have to spend 1 to 2 months relearning everything that they lost over the summer. This is especially true in at-risk schools, where students often do not have access to educational camps and other resources over the summer. My amendment creates an incentive grant program for at-risk schools that choose to move to all-year balanced calendars but lack the resources for necessary one-time expenditures for things such as air conditioning and other infrastructure improvements in the building. This amendment would appropriate $2 million for schools to apply if they commit to an all-year format for at least 3 years. It would be available starting in the upcoming school year. Unfortunately, due to the great expense of converting buildings, this will only fund a few schools, but I hope that with interest shown, we can look to support other schools that are also interested. This amendment would not increase the already required number of school days. It would simply require a balanced calendar where the school spreads the days out across the entire calendar year. The choice of which schools can apply for the grant dollars is left up to the individual school districts. As I said, this is not a requirement, but an option. In my district, the city of Lansing, in our school district, we have 12 elementary schools. If that school district were to apply and receive the dollars, they could choose to convert one of their schools. It's an option for the district to do that. It's an option for the parents if they wanted to send their children to that school. It's an option for the teachers if they want to teach in that school. I'll share one story and then I'll sit down, Mr. Speaker. I was talking about this with my 9-year-old son about a week ago, and I told him, it's going to be year-round school, and he was mortified. He looked at me like I was crazy. And then I said to him, Ryan, I said, would you rather have 8 weeks of summer where, you are not in school, or would you rather have 4 weeks of summer and then another week and then 4 random weeks spread around the year? And he looked at me and he thought about it and he said, well, that's a good idea. I think many of our kids will like this. And again, for the parents that have children in different schools where it causes a scheduling problem, for the teachers who don't want to do this, they will have other options. But I have heard more support for this issue than just about anything I've worked on so far, and I appreciate the consideration and hopefully the adoption of this amendment. I do want to thank Chairman Rogers and the governor for being on board and working with me on this. I also have to thank Bethany Wixel at House Fiscal. She and Karen Shapiro both helped me with the technical pieces of this, along with the chairman of the Appropriations Committee. They really helped me to get this done, and I really couldn't do it without any of them. Oh, and Tim Van Wiggen, who's our bill drafter, I think we had him drafting a whole variety of things, and he was fantastic. So I got to compliment the staff, and I appreciate consideration of this amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Question before the House is on the adoption of Amendment 1C. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is adopted.